Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's unseen video. This way we round up all the big talking points from social media. And I think the biggest talking point right now is that next weekend is Survivor Series War Games. We're going to be doing the watch along for it, of course. And Triple H has been putting out a couple of messages about the War Games matches, about next weekend. You can see this graphic right here. The teams are set. We are ready for this year's War Games. So the teams have been set. The biggest War Games match in WWE history is official. War Games next weekend from Petco Park. So it's a pretty big stadium, this. They've already sold over 30,000 tickets for this thing. We got the Usos involved. We got CM Punk. We got Cody. We got Roman Reigns. That's our babyface team. On the other side, we've got Brock, Braun, Bronson, Drew, Logan. That's our heel team. And there is a lot of star power going into that men's War Games match. As well as that, we got this graphic dropped yesterday, just after Smackdown. A storied veteran and a breakout star debut in their first War Games. Two teams composed of multi-time world champs. 10 of WWE's biggest stars all in one match. So we've got Io, Rhea, AJ Lee, Charlotte, and Alexa taking on Lash Legends, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, and the Kabuki Warriors. So that's our babyface team. That's our heel team. And there is just star power absolutely everywhere. I just wanted to show these graphics and what Triple H was saying. Because, as I said, I think this is the biggest story right now. We are just 1 week away from one of WWE's biggest shows of the year. Survivor Series goes all the way back to the late 80s. So, you know, this is an event many of us have grown up with. And as we said, they've sold over 30,000 tickets for next weekend. Right, other news, lots of tapings going on at the moment because obviously there's Thanksgiving. There's also Christmas that's coming up. So here we can see on December 19th, WWE are going to tape SmackDown and Raw from Grand Rapids to give talent and crew the week off for Christmas. So 2 shows, 1 night, a double taping on December 19th. So talent will have a week off for Christmas, which I have no complaints about. Why would I? That's absolutely fine. I know we don't like tape-ins, but talent have to have Christmas off, Thanksgiving, things like that. So no complaints whatsoever. So Raymond, thank you. Just be aware there is a lot of tape-ins kind of coming up. And this from SlamX said it's time to avoid spoilers for next week's shows because they were being taped. Next week's SmackDown was actually taped yesterday. So it means spoilers for next week are out there. Spoilers as to who replaces Sheamus in that Last Time Is Now tournament. They are out there. I'm not going to include it here because I don't want to put those spoilers in here. You're not going to have to work very hard to find it though, right? So it is out there. I would say if you're planning on watching next week's show, just watch next week's show. Don't worry about it. But next week's SmackDown was taped. And as we said, the spoilers are out there. Right, let's have a look, see what we've got in other, shall we? So, Santos Escobar has commented about his absence amid his absence. He says, waiting patiently. Now, obviously, they struck a good deal for him and gave him a boost in pay from what we understand. So, I think they do want to use him as a big star, I think, or a bigger star. And I think the future is looking quite bright for him. But like all things with WWE, trying to find a way of fitting someone back into the schedule seems to be quite difficult and certainly not possible this side of Survivor Series. So I think get Survivor Series out the way, then bring him in. Plus also, I wonder if they've spoken about his music, his presentation. It really feels like they want to really get behind this guy. As we said, word on the street is they've given him a bit of a boost in pay. And so I think they have got some big plans for him, or certainly bigger plans than the way they were using him before. Okay, an update with comments from the CEO, from the Media Ratings Council. Now, we're not going to get too much into this. You might remember the other day we heard CW Network saying they were frustrated about the new ratings, which I thought was very interesting. First time we'd heard from a network about the new way that the ratings, TV ratings, are being worked out. Well, now we're hearing from the CEO of the Media Ratings Council, right? And they're basically saying they're going to have a look at it. They're going to have a look at it. I've not seen the figures that you are quoting, but we will certainly consider these as we evaluate the service going forwards. So they're talking about the new way the ratings are worked out. They're talking about the hit that pro wrestling has suffered. And they're basically saying, well, we'll have a look at it. I mean, that might just be a way of saying, leave me alone, right? I don't know if anything's going to change. But they have responded and said they will look at it. That coming from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. And yeah, we'll have to see if anything does change. So Mitchell, thank you. And if you don't know what we're talking about, then this is a really, really interesting graph. So Ryder, thank you. So basically, under the old system, the TV ratings would have been here on this line, this dotted line. So the past few weeks, Smackdown would have done 1.4, 1.2, 1.1, 1.3, 1.3, about 1.1, 1.3, 1.3. That's what it would have done. Under the new system, it's done 1.2, 1, 1, 1.2, 1.1 and a half, 933,000, 1.1 and a half, 1.1 and a half. I mean, it is a decrease of like 150, 200,000. That is the difference between the old system and the new system. And again, I know this is dull. I know this is boring, but it is important. That's why people are talking about it, because all the adverts and ad revenue is worked out by TV ratings. And as a result, how much the network gives you for your show is worked out by all of this stuff. So if the ratings are going to just suddenly drop like they've done here over the past few months because of the new system, that is a problem. That is definitely a problem. Okay, WWE, TNA, New Japan, AEW wrestling fan. So here, Joe Gacy just putting out this graphic that says, "What are you in the dark?" So Joe Gacy has been putting out a few cryptic messages. I personally think this is all leading towards the Wyatt Six feud with the MFTs. I don't think there's anything more to it than that. Obviously, we saw Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, return the other week. No sign of the Wyatt Six on SmackDown, though, that I thought was a bit disappointing. But for me, I think this is what Gacy is building towards, that MFT feud. Miss Clown, thank you. So Cyndi Lauper, right, who should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, in my mind, wrestling royalty for what she did, because she was probably my favorite celebrity involvement in the history of WWE, because she was someone that came into the business, didn't have a match, but was like a really colorful manager for Wendy Richter. And so she basically was like a mouthpiece. She was a hype woman for Wendy Richter as Wendy Richter was trying to become the women's champion. It was really good, really, really good. And she was a big star going back to like the mid-80s. She had like Girls Just Want to Have Fun and, all these big pop hits. She was like, I don't know, the Sabrina Carpenter of her day, yeah? And so for her to get involved in wrestling was like really good for wrestling. And you might remember she was even involved at WrestleMania 1. For some reason, we have not put her in the Hall of Fame. And it is one of those admissions that really bothers me. But lovely that actually during a Grammys tribute concert, she actually spoke about her time in wrestling. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Cyndi Lauper began her Grammy salute concert by acknowledging the wrestling history. She said, "I also want to thank the wrestlers. I was a wrestling manager. I know a few moves. Don't try me." She specifically honored Captain Lou Albano, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and Classy Freddie Blassie. She addressed critics who questioned her involvement. She said, "For all those people that used to say to me, 'What are you doing with those wrestlers? What the heck?' I was having fun, and they were making my life so much fun." Put her in the Hall of Fame. Okay, and Zoey Stark gives an update on her recovery, noting that she's now able to fully run and pivot pain-free. So here we go, just a bit of footage. It's very short footage, but this is the movement that Zoey Stark has got right now. I believe this is 6 months on, I think I read. So she's looking pretty good. Obviously, there's still a way to go for her. Not expecting it to be back like at Survivor Series or anything like that. But I don't know. I wonder if mentally she's got the Royal Rumble in mind. I wonder if she's kind of set that as a bit of a target. Like, come back at the Rumble. Right, let's go into the fun folder, shall we? So, there's a new Undertaker belt that has dropped, and it's $850. This person here says, bargain, I might buy two. So, celebrate 35 years of Undertaker's reign of terror over the WWE landscape with this 35-year Dead Man Legacy Championship. I was having a little grumble about this. I sort of feel like these legacy belts, they're really expensive. And I sort of feel like it's quite nice to honor a wrestler with a belt themed around them. And we've already done that for Undertaker. And now we're starting to, like, celebrate 35 years of Undertaker, 40 years of Undertaker, 50 years of Undertaker. Where do you draw the line? Do you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, you're just going to keep coming out with these belts. And it's just going to, I don't know, oversaturate the market. I don't look at this and go, wow, that's amazing. What a brilliant idea. I've already seen a tribute belt to The Undertaker. So, you know, this now officially is greed in my mind. All of a sudden, we're just trying to find a reason to release another one. Oh, yeah, I've not seen this footage. I don't know where this is from. So, Miss Clown, thank you. This is Brock with his parents. Unseen rare video of Brock backstage with his parents. So, that apparently is Brock's mom and dad. So, there they are. How crazy is that? I have never really thought about Brock's. I've never really thought about Brock's mom and dad, but I didn't quite picture them that way. He seems big though, doesn't he, Brock's dad? I mean, Brock's dad looks like he's got some size to him. Obviously, he doesn't work out like Brock does, but he's quite tall. I love that bit where he's got the belt on, the dad. I think that's brilliant. Okay, Hannah, thank you. This coming from Fightful. They're just showing what goes down to change from a basketball court to a UFC octagon show. So there's a UFC show. This is Madison Square Garden, ice hockey. And then that gets stripped down. And then we build the wrestling ring for Monday Night Raw. And then it's back to the basket. It just shows how versatile these arenas have to be. Here's Madison Square Garden in a very, very short space of time, putting on all these different events, basketball, ice hockey. But there we go. That's just like a time-lapse video just showing you all the work that has to go in. I think it's the ice hockey one that's the craziest. I never really thought about it, but like when I was younger, I always thought that it was always an ice hockey arena and that, you know, that was just always there. I didn't know that you could take it all apart, change it over to something else. Right, we got a couple of Smackdown bits. I didn't realize this. When I did the breakdown video, I thought these shirts all said the same. Don't call me a jackass. They don't. Some of you tagged me in this, and basically they're all a bit different. So Tommaso's says, don't call me a jackass. Johnny's said, don't call my best friend a jackass. And Candice says, don't call my husband's best friend a jackass. So they're all different. And there they are backstage posing with Axiom's mask. Right, here, this is SmackDown. We got the ref count in, right? So I think we're up to, boom, we were up to 5 there. So we get up to 5. As soon as we get to the 6, here it is, 6, 7, there it is. So in the ring, Carmelo, as he's down, does the 6, 7, as the ref counts 6, 7. Right, Bron Breakker barked at a young fan during SmackDown. This is from Ju Sav. On TikTok. Let's have a look at this. There we go. So he did go like that. So kid jumped out of his skin. I think we all would, to be honest. And I like this as well. This is very, very good. Goss Drews. So there is Charlotte and Rhea inside a shirt that says, we will learn to love each other. So there we go. Very good. Very good. Okay, we got quite a bit in community today, actually. So Bones said the struggle is real. I need to stay away from retail stores. So another pickup there for Bones. I like this, actually, because that is one of Kevin Owens' WrestleMania attires. This is obviously when he was at WrestleMania and did the KO show, had Steve Austin on, and then it turned into a match. I think this is like WrestleMania 38. So, yeah, that's all based on that. So, pretty fun pack, that one, to be honest. Raymond says, hello, my friend. I managed to get a tweet from Cody. Look at that. Very good. So, Raymond, congrats. Wrestling Void said, here's me and my new CM Punk shirt. Very nice. Looking fly, looking good. Wrestling Void, shout out to you. Real Wrestling Fan getting a response from Ren Sinclair. Amazing. So, Real Wrestling Fan said, I just ordered my shirts. And Ren Sinclair was like, no way, you're awesome. So, how amazing is that? Getting a response. And Tyler said, once again, got to meet one of the best wrestlers. And most importantly, a great human being. Nothing but respect for this man. Remembered my kids and everything. Values worth more than money. He is Enzo, real one, Enzo Amore. So some great pictures there from Tyler as the family met Enzo. Got another one as well with Danhausen. Got to meet Danhausen at Battle in Berg 5. What a great talent and a nice dude. Great picture as well. Really good. Really good. And Juck Wax Obsessed said, got to meet Kurt Angle today. It's true. I got the auto in the comments. So that's a brilliant picture. That's what got signed. And there it is right there. Kurt Angle, Hall of Fame 2017. So, yeah, brilliant. So lots of people meeting, wrestlers getting responses. There's lots going on in the community at the moment. So very good. Very good. Okay, let's do thanks. Let's get out of here. So, Elite Pro Wrestling Forum, Armando, Nico, Elite Pro Wrestling Forum, Real Wrestling Fan, Kanon, Sub Hodeep, Patrick Smith, The Kaiju Warrior, Chanel, It's Bryn again, Wrestling Voids, Wrestling's Biggest Fan, Patrick Smith, Claire Webb, Silverback, Kelly the Wise Lady, and Michael. Thank you for the support. Thank everyone for the support. Appreciate it as always. Obviously, at the time of recording this, we are just about to do a AAA live stream. That's coming up on Saturday nights. And hopefully I'll have another Unseen for you tomorrow. But Sundays are the quietest day. Don't know what kind of news is going to be around. There's not much news itself at the moment. Lots of bits. But really, everyone has just got their sights set on Survivor Series for next weekend. So, yes, and we'll be live for that as well. So, thanks for watching. Bye for now.